It's going to be an exciting week. I just landed at the Minneapolis, Minnesota airport. I have a week to spend out here in beautiful state, driving around, showing the brand new September release for Michael Miller Fabrics, and it is going to be awesome. Oh, well, hey. Good morning. Glad to see you're finally up. It is Monday morning and we are off on a great adventure, although it is going to be quite a busy week for us. I am here Monday through Friday in Minnesota, traveling through the whole state showing the Michael Miller line. So one of my strategies to having a successful week from hotel room to hotel room to hotel room is starting my morning off right with a little bit of stretching and a good breakfast and a little head start, so I'm not in a rush. We're gonna go ahead and see a quilt shop today and then travel on to the next town. This is gonna be a blast. I'm so glad you are ready for the adventure. Oh, that is funny, actually. I found Mike sleeping in. Hey, Mike, get up. Hey, get up, come on, it's time to get up and play. And there she is, the Nissan Versa. The ultimate little economy rental car. The reason I'm pointing this out right now is one, you know I like to video while I drive. I will not comment on the safety of that last statement. However, it does get some pretty fun footage right as I'm out touring about. But secondly, it's all over the road, which is going to make for some interesting footage, but there's supposed to be rain coming in. Today's Monday, but by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to have some weather. So we'll see how this little thing holds up. The interstates out here are at least 70 miles an hour. And so yesterday there was a little drift car racing going on. We were having fun. Okay, we're on to Hayward. We're going to go to the next town over, which is called Hayward. I'm going to meet Carolyn for my first time, I think. I hope I haven't met her before because now I've got that on video. Turn right onto Council Street. GPS leaves the parking lot and we're already on dirt roads. It's going to be a great day. Turn left onto Council Street. Boy, talk about peace and quiet. These roads out here are beautiful. And all I've really seen off in the distance is wonderful farmland, beautiful bodies of water. There's just a peace and quiet to this area. Full of paper and fabric and samples. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna get a good workout this trip. A few minutes early, I think I'm just gonna have a little seat, wait for him to come on out. Wouldn't that be fun? All right, here we go, inside. He said back this way. Yes. Oh my gosh, that suitcase doesn't even roll straight. Oh, that is a heavy sample. Oh my gosh, look at this beefcake in the quilt shop. Tony. Good morning. Hi, are you Carolyn? I'm Carolyn. I'm Rob Appell. Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me. That's right, and I just never remember. This is Carolyn, the owner of Calico Hutch. Yeah, hello. There you go. Sorry, I say hello. Oh, what are you laughing at? I'm going to make fun of you too. That's right. Oh, this is our. She runs our long arm. This is our. Yeah, what is your name, love? Barb. Barb. Okay. Mm-hmm. Carolyn and Barb, the long armor, who was laughing at Carolyn because I put Carolyn on the spot. Okay. And I was just telling Carolyn how I wanted to video the shop because I love to present what's all different about all the shops and the town. And when I said the town of Hayward, you said?
I said it's a small, loving community.
That's not what she...
240 people.
Right. Mm-hmm. As I was driving in, I could feel the peace and quiet in the air. And that's what they caught me in the parking lot playing with my camera this morning. I'm gonna run the camera around this quilt shop though, because there's nothing quiet about this quilt shop. This is incredible. I love your samples.
We have a ton of samples.
Yes, you do. Well, samples are so inspiring. But there's Hannah, and Hannah started here when she had her first work permit at 15 years old. Is that correct?
Yep.
And I'm just going to embarrass you, I didn't learn your name
Christy.
Hi, Christy.
Hi.
Christy is traveling through Minnesota in an RV,
Yep.
and she was telling me about an awesome Facebook group of RV quilters, and they just have a wonderful time networking and visiting shops. So while I'm wandering around here, now we left off a moment ago with Carolyn, the owner. She was going to give me a quick tour, and we all have met Brad. So there's Brad.
Brad's our favorite, yeah.
So Carol, would you like to tell me a little bit more about your shop? When did you all open up?
Oh, Calico Hutch opened in 1982. Levon Williams, and I worked with her for several years. And one day she said she wanted to sell it, so that would have been in 2002. I bought it in 2002, and so I've had it about 17 years.
Perfect. Now this is another side, and we see this in more and more quilt shops every day. The long arm room. So you have a couple of long arms in the long arm room. Now, is that Terry over here that I met? Terry, we're all talking about our specialties. I'm going to brag about Terry's specialty. It was a rhubarb coffee cake. Is that what I tried? Oh boy, see that smile on her face? Mine was twice as big. That's right. Okay, sorry, Carolyn. Tell me about your long arms. So these are they quilts that you're quilting for people?
Yes, we quilt for people. We do edge to edge. We have a Bernina long arm and we have a Gamma long arm.
Wonderful.
And we have Barb over here. She runs both of them. She runs two at a time.
Go, Barb!
Very sweet and very meticulous.
Right.
And she does a good job on everything.
Right.
Customers love her.
And okay, so you're a Bernina dealer.
Yes.
This is really fun for me because as I turn back over here, you're using your Bernina in more of a commercial style setting, which is a really nice testament for Bernina that you guys are making a machine that runs all day long.
Yes.
And Barb over here can not only run one of these, but also the big Gamel at the exact same time.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yep.
This is great.
You can look through that mirror and see what that.
This is fun, Carolyn, in here.
It is lots of wool,
Yeah.
lots of notions, little kits, big kits.
Do you do classes on the wool work, just like you do classes on using cottons and quilt making too?
And we're starting a new wool club in January. It's
Ooh.
going to be a lots of fun.
Is it going to be like a block of the month or something like that? You say
Yes.
it's a club.
Yep, it's a club, and I think we're going to do 2 blocks a month. We haven't quite decided, but we have the project picked out. So it'll be great. And we've got the wool that
Yeah.
we'll use, so we're all ready to go there.
And you've got some beautiful DMC flosses for all the hand embroidery to go with it.
Yep.
It's quiet. This is just kind of one of these things that quilt shops offer a presence. They offer a place where you can feel comfortable to come and be creative and come and study. It gets bold and bright, samples everywhere, lots of movement, more into the machine environment. Just fantastic. Carolyn, thank you for letting me and the camera play around in your beautiful quilt shop. Hayward, Minnesota, the Calico Hutch. What a great way to kick off my adventure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. This was fun.
My absolute
Tons of
pleasure.
fun.
Got it.
All right.
It says something about flowers, yarn, and in the bushes it says coffee. I have coffee, but I always want more coffee. Gruber's Quilt Shop, St. Cloud, Minnesota, Tuesday morning. Let's go see what kind of trouble we can get into. Now, a moment ago I said St. Cloud, Minnesota, but we're actually, I think, the first building in Waite Park. Like the sign is on the corner where the building is. So anyways, really easy to find. You could always Google search it or internet search it, whatever you want. But this is supposed to be one of the long-time standing quilt shops here, and I'm really excited to meet the folks inside. This is going to be really, really a great morning for me. All right, let's go have an adventure. Oh, it's so heavy. Oh, that's going to break.
Right.
Yes, are you Mr. Gruber's?
Well, I'm Sue's husband.
Sue's husband, Rob. And Sue is the 3rd generation owner here at Gruber's. Is there a fun story of the startup? Was it in a closet somewhere?
My
Was it?
grandfather started it in the middle of the Depression,
Right.
1932, when nobody should have been starting anything. He started it. So he sent chicken and eggs to Chicago, and that was his namesake in the right in when there was the Prohibition was going on. So in order to get into Chicago, you had to get underneath the mafia and da-da-da. So we have many stories on that.
Wow.
Then along came my dad, who's 2nd generation. He's a sausage maker.
Right.
So Gruber's is now. We were married.
Sausage and quilting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
4 years ago, I was Minnesota.
I was going to start my very similar business, you know.
It is. Well, I was Minnesota Quilter of the Year 4 years ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a huge honor. We did a meet and greet, and I swear, every second person that came through, I missed the smoke flavored fabric. I was so humbled
Right.
because we've been away from our store in Genola for 15 years. We had been down in St. Cloud here that length of time. Who remembers retail for 15 years?
Right.
Nobody.
Right. And who wants to come back and purchase fabric that is already pre-sausage smelling?
You always have a dog.
You always have a dog.
Your pet knows exactly where you've been.
Oh, and you know most quilters are cat people, so that must drive the quilting cats crazy knowing the dogs want some of the cloth too now.
Absolutely.
Gruber's is a quilt shop, but did it start as obviously it wasn't just a quilt shop, it was the everything store.
Actually, it was in Genola, and it's like Norman Walkwell. Outside the north was a grain elevator.
Okay.
To the east of us was a huge buffalo herd,
Right.
and a Highway 25 was going right through it.
Right.
And kids were sitting on our steps eating ice cream.
Right.
So
That's it.
where do you do that nowadays? You can't do that. Good.
But man, I'll tell you, yeah, it's nice, and I see just a little bit slower pace, and I see a lot of crafting going on out here.
It is.
It's awesome.
Well, they always ask me. People always say, because we have Lynette Jensen started it out, right?
Okay, right.
And I always hear there's so many designers and pattern designers in Minnesota.
Right.
I have so many people often ask me, why is that in Minnesota? I said, stick around for another month and you'll find out why.
Right.
For the next 9 months, we'll have white stuff on our ground.
Right.
Or
right.
20 below.
Exactly.
It is what it is.
Sorry, I promised Becky I wouldn't put her on video, so there. That's Becky, she opened the door. Oh, I get to go. I thought you were gonna give me the wonderful tour. First moments through the threshold of Gruber's Quilt Shop. Oh, and you've got yarn, of course, too. I'm starting to confess to folks that I've learned to knit because I'm getting better and better at it, but I'm not. Say though, the reason I love knitting and or my woodworking or guitar playing and all that stuff is as a professional quilt maker, the way I recharge is doing art that doesn't matter for my income, because that way I can just experiment and play. That's what art really should be, experimenting and playing. Some of us are blessed to get to do it for a living, and therefore we have to train as a professional athlete would or whatnot. So anyways, I train to do good quilt making by doing terrible knitting and terrible woodworking. What are you laughing at, Becky? Right now, as I'm walking through the door, I'm seeing seasons.
Yeah. So
Lots and lots of seasons.
This is our front room. This is usually where everything new comes in.
Okay.
So right now, Christmas isn't new. It's been here for a little while.
Got
but
it.
People are starting to think about Christmas.
Do you do Christmas in July?
We do.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Christmas usually comes in April. So
All right.
it starts to arrive. We've got Halloween.
Nice. What's next? Oh, is this the Notions room?
This is
Look
our
at this.
notions room here.
This is big. Wow. Okay, you can't quite tell in the camera, but like, you just can't even see how far it goes back over there. Wow.
It's great. It used to be a furniture store.
Is there a website for Gruber's? Do you ship and mail?
We do.
Okay.
The mail. Yep.
Now we always say support your local quilt shop first, but a lot of times in these videos I find these cute little unique things, and in these unique cute things I want to make sure folks know how to get a hold of it. Okay, now we're diving into boutiques over here. Wow. Oh, you've got like cutting areas in each of these vignettes. Right, riding tricycles. It's big enough to ride. It's actually big enough to ride mini bikes in, I think. Bigger than tricycles. Okay, get my layout. Oh, this is fun. And so it looks like at quick glance kind of 30s.
Yep. We got 30s.
Okay.
And animals.
Oh,
and
sure.
baby.
Kids and baby. Love kids and baby at Michael Miller Fabrics.
Yeah, we do.
Whole embroidery department. Are you finding that you're getting a lot more folks, regardless of age or demographic, that are doing handwork? Are you?
Yes. My 15-year-old daughter actually
Right.
loves handwork, so we're seeing a pretty big comeback with it. A lot
What-
of modern stuff too.
What does she like to do when she's doing handwork? Is she doing like tea towel embroidery? Is she just?
She just loves to stitch. You know,
Okay, and you know me, I love me some solids. This is fun though. As I come around here, solids and they bank and they keep going. I love it. Oh, and then there's more solids. Oh, look what I just found here at Gruber's this morning. Now, if you've been following the videos, over the last couple weeks, I posted the really fun candy bag using Elise Gravel's I Want a Monster fabric line, and they have a bunch of it right here in the grouping. Super cool. Now, the next job is I'm gonna go sell Becky some glow-in-the-dark fairy frost so that you can call her and get it right here at Gruber's for your...
This is what we call our color room. So this is all tonals, basics, any kind of texture, and they're all organized by color.
Oh my. They translate a lot of the time as if they're just a neutral or a solid, a background, and yet they bring all that little extra secondary color because color plays with color. So when you add a texture, not just a solid, it brings everything else to life. And that is quite stocked for the bargain room. I do like the fact to see that most of the bolts are pretty lean, which is a good thing because it means most of your fabric doesn't hang out for 2 years. It is important to have expiration dates on fabric. Fabric is perishable, folks. You can store it at home as long as you want, but you can't store it in the quilt shops. You need to get down here. The quilt shop doesn't have the proper temperature control at night when everyone goes home. It doesn't have the love and energy the fabric needs. So you must get the quilt fabric out of the shops and into your homes where it can be stored safely. I just gotta say, be prepared to be overwhelmed. That's right, I am coming back to Minnesota. Gruber's Quilt Shop, July 18th, big event. Get all the details right here online, grubers.com. They've got what you need to know. We'll see you real soon, Saturday, July 18th, 2020. Oh, hello and welcome back to the afternoon. I hope I don't look as tired as I feel. We've been selling fabric all day. This is great. I am in Just So Studio, also in Wake Park, Minnesota, and this is a fantastic shop. The first thing I noticed when I walked in is all the wonderful open space we have for the sewing machine dealership and the educational portion. Let's give you a little quick tour. And we have our beautiful needles and all of the presser feet and stabilizers and interfacings, especially for embroidery. Fantastic notions wall. If you're not aware, is something that can be done in an embroidery hoop on the machine, and a lot of that applique, I'm assuming, is also done. Dawn, did I get it right? Is that applique done in the hoop?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, this guy knows his sewing machines. And then she's got a really nice but very curated collection of fabric, if I may say so. So she got some great textures, some great colors, and as you wander around, and that was one of the things that Dawn and I were talking about, she really likes to use just basic textures in her quilt projects and in her shop because it really lets the stitching show through and focus on both the patterns she's using, but also all the fantastic process and threads and everything. This is the new location, correct? Somebody, not everybody knows you've just moved. How long have you been in the new location? Been here since June. 51 3rd Street Northeast?
Wake Park.
Wake Park. I got it. I memorized it.
Good job.
I'm so proud of myself. I needed an attaboy, I guess. So on a given day, will you have a bunch of folks sitting about here and working on their sewing machines and everything?
Yes. Doing projects. Soon do a sleep in your own bed retreat.
Oh, that is really cool. And the shop will be open to the public, but then there'll be a retreat going on right in the middle of here?
Exactly.
You know, when my mom and I used to do special events in our shops like that, the energy that would create would just draw people in off of the streets, and the whole thing turned into a giant party. The retreat guests love it, and the folks that are just coming in to get fabric and threads and stuff love it. And thank you so much for letting me come into your shop and
Glad you came.
selling you some fabric. There'll be some great Michael Miller here, as there has been in the past, who just scored fall at golden hour on a body of water. I just gotta find a place to park.